Disciplinary Perdition, Aponia's biotype, lightning DPS battlesuit. Her leader skill increases the team's range lightning damage and the team's total damage. Her basic attack is ranged, deals lightning damage, and has 4 sequences. Chakram wielders have their own unique way of wielding the chakram. Disciplinary Perdition has her chakram behind her and draws power from it to deal lightning damage to enemies. Her unique weapon active, This Mind Untainted, enables her to enter the conviction state, causing her to elevate herself and float in the air, immobilizing herself but also turning invulnerable. While in conviction, her unique passive gauge, Redemption, will be charged. She will passively recover a value of 5 per second, with the gauge maxing out at 200. While not in conviction, her 3rd and 4th basic attack sequences will also restore Redemption. Restoring Redemption will buff her total damage by 20% for 10 seconds. This buff can be refreshed. Tapping the attack button while in conviction will call down bolts of lightning to strike enemies. These attacks count as her combo attack. Passively, combo attacks from Disciplinary Perdition deal increased lightning and total damage. Each combo attack in conviction will also charge Redemption by a value of 10 and recover 0.2 SP. When the Redemption gauge is full, conviction will end. Holding the attack button with a full gauge will trigger Predictor's Sentence, reducing incoming total damage by 80% while unleashing a barrage of lightning attacks to enemies in a wide area, all while draining the Redemption gauge. Entering Predictor's Sentence grants her a total damage boost for 9 seconds. When the gauge is fully depleted, Inhibitor's Adjudication will be cast, dealing a massive amount of lightning damage to enemies in a wide area. At S2, Inhibitor's Adjudication's damage is increased and 5 SP will be restored when it's cast. At SS, Inhibitor's Adjudication's lightning damage is further increased and an additional 15 SP will be restored when leaving Predictor's Sentence. Additionally, switching a teammate in while Disciplinary Perdition is in conviction will enable her to remain on the field. If the teammate is also a lightning elemental battlesuit, their attacks will also trigger Disciplinary Perdition's combo attacks. In this state, her combo attacks will actually deal more damage than if she were to remain on the field by herself, but the frequency of the attacks will be slower by a time of 0.05 seconds per strike. At SS, these combo attacks gain a passive increase in lightning damage dealt. If conviction ends while another teammate is on the field, Disciplinary Perdition's switch in cooldown will be refreshed. With 100 SP, Disciplinary Perdition can cast her ultimate attack, This Sin Inexorable, dealing 14 hits of lightning damage before one massive finisher. All stage timers are paused during the casting animation. Her ultimate attack gains a total damage boost within 4 seconds of leaving Predictor's Sentence. After casting an ultimate attack, her basic and combo attacks gain a 20% total damage buff, and her total damage taken is reduced by 30% for the next 12 seconds. When performing an ultimate evasion, casting a weapon active skill, casting Predictor's Sentence, or when an enemy is paralyzed, Disciplinary Perdition can trigger her evasion skill, triggering a global time fracture, which lasts for 2.5 seconds, and Summoner's Promise, which deals 3 hits of lightning damage to enemies and restores 100 HP to the team. If a paralyzed enemy was the trigger, Disciplinary Perdition will gain 40 redemption, and the resulting Summoner's Promise will deal increased lightning damage. The total damage of Summoner's Promise is passively increased, and cooldown is passively shortened. Additionally, when her evasion skill is triggered, enemies will take increased lightning damage from Disciplinary Perdition herself for the next 12 seconds. When enemies are time slowed or paralyzed by teammates, Disciplinary Perdition's QTE can be triggered. She will enter the field, dealing multiple hits of lightning damage and restore 6 SP. The damage of her QTE can be further upgraded at SS, a trait which is extremely uncommon amongst battlesuits. Being only the second chakram wielder to be introduced, Disciplinary Perdition has a limited number of options when it comes to weapons. As expected, her signature weapon will synergize well with her kit, providing all the right buffs and enhancements to strengthen her in combat. Lost Conviction, Damnation summons 4 butterflies that last for 10 seconds and fly into the enemy, dealing lightning damage when the wielder attacks or when their duration ends. Enemies hit by the butterflies will take 16% increased lightning damage from the wielder for the next 30 seconds. Passively, the weapon grants its wielder a 25% lightning damage buff for 30 seconds when a weapon active skill is cast. On Disciplinary Perdition, the lightning bolts during Predictor's Sentence deal an increased 45% of attack in lightning damage. The secondary passive provides an innate 15% lightning damage increase to its wielder. When equipped by Disciplinary Perdition, her ultimate attack gains a 30% total damage increase. Alternatively, Piranha Phantasma Night Eye can be used. Being a PRI arm and actually having one passive ability that increases not only its wielders, but the team's total damage as well, makes it a decent second choice. For captains who are unable to obtain either of those weapons, Gilded Libre, which can be forged in the Foundry, does come with a passive 50% innate elemental damage increase. Unfortunately, being limited to a 5-star form, its damage will be extremely lacking. On the other hand, from a cost-effective standpoint, captains might still be able to equip Disciplinary Perdition when it comes to Stigmata. With multiple powerful lightning sets available, including the G4 Stigmata set, Handle, being introduced in the same version, Aponia might still prove to be useful for captains in the early stages of the game. With that being said, with no host-restricted abilities, her signature Stigmata set, Xeno, proves to be yet another strong addition to the lightning arsenal. The T-Part grants a high 45% lightning damage increase to its host. Lightning damage dealt by the host's combo attacks will trigger a 20% total damage buff that lasts for 10 seconds and can be refreshed. The M-Part offers yet another high innate lightning damage increase of 35%. It also shortens the evasion skill cooldown of its host by 20%. The B-Part provides a 30% total damage increase to range attacks and a 40% lightning damage increase to the host's combo attacks. The 2-set ability provides yet another innate total damage increase of 35%. It also marks enemies for 15% when they are hit by the host combo attacks, causing a lightning damage explosion to trigger with every 4 hits they take from the host. Additionally, with the 3-set ability, the explosions will restore 2 SP to the host. For 15 seconds after the host's evasion skill is triggered, marked enemies will take an increased 60% lightning damage from the host. This buff can be refreshed. When looking for alternative Stigmata, the G4 Stigmata set, Handle, can be a strong option. With the butterflies from her signature weapon, Disciplinary Perdition can fully utilize the Stigmata set. Using just the M and B parts, together with Linnaeus, Wang Zhenyi, Monet, or even Darwin T, could be a better option, as the team buffs on Handle will not stack should another support be equipped with the full set. Alternatively, Ishikawa Goemon can replace the M and B parts. Wang Zhenyi T and B could also be equipped together with Linnaeus or Ishikawa Goemon M. Breaking away from the traditional meta of having the DPS take most of the time on the field, Disciplinary Perdition is able to passively be part of the fight by being in Conviction, while letting supports with longer activation times do their work in battle. Golden Diva, who is being added in the same update, can be paired with Prinzessin Diva Ötalang to support her. Their skills needed to deploy their buffs and debuffs can be timed almost perfectly with the charging speed of Disciplinary Perdition's Redemption gauge. Fallen Rosemary or Azure Imperia can also be swapped in for different situations or based on availability. In some situations, Reverse Calico could also find some use in the team. All in all, Disciplinary Perdition switches up the meta and opens up some new ways of forming teams. While high, her damage isn't exactly game-breaking, and her playstyle does take a lot of time to execute. The plus side is that she is easy to use, with simply casting her weapon active skill and leaving the supports to do their work before switching back in with a combo attack and ultimate. With Predictor's Sentence buffing her ultimate and her ultimate buffing her basic and combo attacks, the rigidity of casting sequence is removed, allowing captains to adapt their casting sequence to the fight. As a DPS, she does cover a couple of bosses in the Abyss. The same could also be said for triple S boss fights in the Memorial Arena, but she might also see some use as a lightning support due to her easy, no SP cost global time fracture trigger with off-field support Stigmata application capabilities.
定めに敬服せよ。心と体を私に任せなさい。苦しみの中で心を入れ替えなさい。目覚めなさい。食いるがいい。消滅する時に